All right, guys, we're taking notes on 4.1, solving linear inequalities. Our goal is to solve graph simple and compound inequalities on one variable. It's going to look pretty darn familiar from what we've done in the past, but just bear with me, guys, and the assignment should go pretty darn good. If you need the teacher to pause the video at any point, raise your hand. Just let them know. But definitely take notes on the ones that I tell you to, guys. We'll just get you, I think it's 4 examples, and that's it. And you should be ready to go for your homework. All right, and away we go. Okay, so you're going to solve for x. That's what this page says in a nutshell, guys. Except, you know, it's not the equal sign. It's an inequality, so you have less than, greater than. And we'll talk about open circle, closed circle stuff. But, yeah, you're going to solve for x. So look for distributive property, add like terms, and then reverse PEMDAS. And you'll see it right away, guys, in this next one. All right, so here we go. Okay, so the first two for your notes, put them, you know, horizontally, put it like exactly like you see it up here, guys. It won't take you much space. All right, okay, here we go. So for the first one, you're solving for x, right? Now when you solve for x, you move things away from the x. You're going to reverse PEMDAS. I will say this, always look for distributing first. I don't see any parentheses, so we don't have to do that. Add like terms that don't have anything to do with that. So we're just going to add 4 to both sides. X is greater than -2, guys, and you are done. That's all it's to it. Now, as far as I know, I don't believe they have you do a whole lot with graphing here to start off with. If they did have you graph, though, so, you know, you put -2 in the middle. A number on the left would be -3, then -1. You guys remember that open circle, closed circle stuff? Well, there's not a line underneath here. It's just greater than. Greater than means that, you know, you go to the right. Okay, so if it was greater than or equal to, then it'd be your closed circle. All right, let's hop over to this one. So this is a 2-stepper on letter B. You have -2 from this side and you -2 from this side. -5y is greater than or equal to -15. I'm glad this one ended up being this way, guys. There's one more step, and it's pretty darn important. If you think about what you're going to do next, I think most of you would get this right. Now, you're going to divide by -5. That's the right thing to do. But when you divide by negative, well, first off, -5 divided by -5. Well, that's a positive y. When you divide by a negative, the inequality flips around. It goes like this. That's only if you multiply or divide by negative. Other than that, everything else stays the same. All right, -15 divided by -5 is +3. If you had to plot it, you'd go 3, 2, 4. Closed circle, right, because it's less than or equal to. And I said less than or equal to. Less than goes to the left. There's your answer. Okay. I think, you know, if it just says solve, though, then that's all you got to do is solve. You don't have to graph. Okay, so those aren't too bad. Okay, so now it talks about graphing with open circle, closed circle. You know, I just got done talking about that. So the graph of x is less than 2. You got an open circle at 2, and it goes that way. A graph that's greater than or equal to -1, it's a closed circle, and it goes that way. Okay, moving on. Next guy. Okay. Yep. Okay, this is the next one for your notes. All right, we got variables on both sides. I always like to move the smaller of the two variables. The smaller of the two variables is -4. If I'm going to move it to the other side of the problem, I'm going to have to do the inverse operation, or I'm going to have to add 4x to this side and add 4x to this side. All right, so this guy's going to cancel out. I'm going to have 7 left over. Okay, now remember, I only flip the inequality if I multiply or divide by a negative. I just added 4, so I'm just going to keep that the same. And then I need to put together those like terms. That's going to be a +2x. Okay, pretty close to done, guys. Again, I'm solving for x now. I'm moving things away from the x. Next thing I do is I reverse PEMDAS. So I'm looking for addition and subtraction. It's a little misleading because right now a lot of you are seeing that +2x right there. But you really, you know, you don't move the 2 because it's 2 times x. Instead, you move the 1. So you -1 from this side, -1 from this side. 6 is less than 2x. divide by 2, divide by 2. 3 is less than x. All right, now, when you graph this one, so many students, they do the arrowhead depending on the direction of which this is facing. Don't do that. It messes you up. Instead, just flip the whole thing around. So go like this. Go x, flip everything. Put the 3 over here, and then, flip that around. Okay, now this reads x is greater than 3. This is the right thing right here. Take this, turn it into this. Now it's easy to graph. 3 goes here, 2 goes here, 4 goes here. Open circle on the 3. And it reads x is greater than, so it goes this way, and you have the right answer. All right, a couple more examples. It's the same thing over and over, guys. So not too worried about this. Remember, if you multiply or divide by a negative, the inequality flips. I don't like it. I don't like it. And okay, so if you have the word and, it's called a compound inequality. So it means that you're going to have numbers that either going to come together in the middle here, it's in between them, or it's going to split out, Okay, let me show you what that looks like. And not this one, but this one. Here it is, guys. So we have 2 of them here. We have 3x plus 2 is less than 8. Then we have the word or. 2x minus 9 is greater than 3. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to solve the one on the left. Then we'll solve the one on the right. And then we're going to graph this compound inequality, meaning, we have 2 of them. So we minus 2 from this side, minus 2 from this side. Divide both sides by 3. Okay, first one's done. Go over here now. Add 9, add 9. Divide by 2, divide by 2. All right, here we go. So we have a compound inequality, guys. We have 2 answers. The smaller the 2 numbers goes on the left. The bigger the 2 numbers go on the right when you want to graph them. They both have open circles. So you have this one right here. That's an open circle. This one's also an open circle. Now here's your answer. It's everything in between them, or it's everything that goes out. So if you read the one over here, guys, it says x is less than 2, right? So less than 2 goes out. This one's got to go out too. And that's accurate because it says x is greater than 6. So here's your graph. Starts at 2 and 6. Open circles. They both go out. Okay, and there's just one more I got to cover because it shows up on your homework, guys, and it really is it's one like number 7. I'll do that one because that's a little tougher. This would be the last one for your notes. Okay, here's how this one works, guys. So you notice there's 3 parts. So you got the part, I'll put kind of like the divider. So, there's a divider, there's a divider. So there's a part over here, there's a part in the middle, and then there's a part over here. So there's 3 parts, right? Here's what you do. You notice where the x is. It's in the middle. What you want to do is work from the inside out. So right now, you see 3x plus 8, right? Ignore everything else. So if you have 3x plus 8 and you want to solve for x, you'd minus 8, right? But here's the thing. You got to minus 8 from all 3 parts. Giving you negative 9 is less than or equal to 3x, less than or equal to 0. So everything's going pretty good so far, but I got one more step. I got 3x instead of just x. So I got to divide out that 3. So divide every term by 3. And I'm ready to write my compound inequality. So I got negative 3 less than or equal to. Now I divided by positive 3, right? Each term. So I don't switch anything. I just leave it the same. That's a 0. Okay, and here's how you graph it. The smaller the 2 numbers goes on the left. So negative 3 goes on the left. 0 goes on the right. I got a closed circle on top of the negative 3. I got a closed circle on top of the 0. As you guys read this right here, this is all one big phrase. So it's everything in between them, like so, because it's the word and. Now, if you don't believe me, you do this. So let's just say I cover up the left-hand side like this. So I'll watch it. I'm going to slowly cover it up. Ready? Covering it up, covering it up. Here it is. Okay, so now let's just read the rest of this out loud to ourselves. X is less than or equal to 0. Well, that would have went to the left anyway. less than or equal to 0. And the other one reads x is greater than -3. So it's everything in between anyway. Okay, so if you look at the top here, this is really what a bit of your homework looks like. If they're separated by the word or, do them separately. If it's one big string like this one, work from the inside out. Keep in mind open circle, closed circle stuff. Okay, and that'd be about it, guys. I believe your homework is in Spanish. Not that it shouldn't make too big of a difference, but yeah, give it a try. See what you think. If you can do the very last one in your homework, you would be, that should just give you A in the class, number 26. And so, yeah, just see if you can get it. All right, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.